Why is it that when things are going well and when they're not, you still wake up feeling like shit every morning? That's what I'm gonna talk about in this video and what I've figured out, at least for me, that helps me push through that as quickly as possible. Because at least for me, it doesn't matter if I'm here in Cape Town or if when I was living in my parents' basement at home making zero money, I still wake up every morning feeling like crap with all of these negative emotions, stresses, anxieties, and all of these feelings just rushing into my head as soon as my eyes wake up or open up. But I figured out a few ways that help me at least push through that quickly so that I actually feel good and ready to go for the rest of the day. If you don't know me, I'm Logan Lesser. I've won over 15 state motocross championships and an amateur national championship. I'm an extreme sports athlete, and over the past 6 years, I've fielded over 7 different businesses, built a marketing agency to $30K a month, and spent over $30,000 learning from the best in business, personal branding, fitness, and mindset. I've lived and worked from London, Bali, and Cape Town. Now I'm sharing everything I've learned and continue to learn here on YouTube and even deeper inside my free newsletter. If you want to join, link is in the description below. So if you're anything like me, then you probably wake up every single morning, and as soon as your eyes open up, literally, you just get this rush of thoughts, worries, and stress immediately that hits you. Like before my head even leaves the pillow, all of that happens. And I have always been an overthinker my entire life. So I think that's also a part of it. But it doesn't matter if things are going well like they are right now. I'm in Cape Town. I'm staying in this amazing place with this incredible view and everything. I still wake up, and even when I walk in here and I see this, it helps, but it's still, I have all of these thoughts and things swirling through my head, all of these doubts, imposter syndrome around the things I'm doing, what I'm working on, and whether or not they're gonna work out, and whether or not everything is gonna come crashing down tomorrow. Like literally every single morning I deal with all of that. And I found there's 3 main things that I do pretty much every morning that really helps me get through that as quickly as possible so that I can get into the day. And like when you're really into the day and you're working on your stuff and you're getting shit done, and maybe it's the later morning, early afternoon, or even later in the day, and you're just feeling on it. You're feeling pumped about what you're doing. You're excited about what you're working on. You're excited about just everything that's coming. Well, why can't that happen first thing in the morning as well? And why can't you feel that first thing in the morning versus having all of that shit going on in your head? That's what I'm talking about, is getting through all the crap and getting straight to that feeling of like feeling ready to go, excited, inspired, all of that. So getting right into it, the very first thing that I do, which is probably the most powerful, is music. But specifically, I literally have a playlist that I created on my phone, which I use Spotify. And I recommend literally do this after watching this video. Make a playlist on your phone. I called mine Good Morning, simple. And literally there's only like 10 songs in there, but it's my main songs that whenever they come on, they just always seem to like get me in a good mood. And they're those songs that like you start kind of lip syncing to and you're all fired up with. Like for me at least, one of them in that playlist is High Hopes by Panic at the Disco. That's one of them. And I'll try and think of some others as we go. But I literally just, as soon as I get out of bed, I put my earbuds in. All of those thoughts and shit are coming into my head and trying to come in. I put my earbuds in, I play that playlist, and the music just comes on. And then I just start going through my morning stuff, just like brushing my teeth, washing my face, like doing all the usual things, but while listening to that music. And that immediately, like there's literally science and stuff behind it and how music literally affects your mental state. That should be kind of obvious, but especially if you're listening to really positive, like upbeat music. So that's what I do every single morning. Like, I'm not kidding. Every single morning, that's my routine, is I throw in my earbuds, play that playlist, and immediately it starts to kind of get me in that better mood, and I'm starting to feel the music and everything. And yeah, one of them is like High Hopes, and I'm trying to think of what some of the others are, but I'm totally spacing them right now. If I think of them, I'll tell you. So that's the first thing. The second thing, which this is super simple, but I'm telling you, like it actually does help, is I pretty much immediately drop to the ground and start doing some push-ups. I'll do like 20, 25 push-ups, and it just kind of gets your blood flowing, and it also just feels good. And literally after doing 20, 25 push-ups, you immediately start to feel a little bit of fatigue. Like your muscles start to feel a little fatigued. You're starting to feel a little you know, like you're working out your body and everything. So it feels good and you're actually doing something that is positive for you, you know? And that's one thing I've learned is that in the morning, especially, like you've probably heard all this stuff around like the morning sets up the rest of your day and all this, which is 100% true. Like I think that's the main reason why there's that whole notion around, you know, if you make your bed, you're destined to be more successful. And it's not actually it's not actually making your bed specifically. It's just because when you make your bed, it is an action that is in alignment with basically having things in order and progressing through your day. Like it's a positive thing. Like it's not like a negative thing. Like it's a positive thing. Your bed looks made, you accomplished something. So it was kind of like just the first checkbox of the day that kind of throws you into gaining momentum for the rest of the day, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the main purpose of making your bed, at least from my perspective when you hear that. But it's the same thing with the push-ups. Like it's just something that you can check off and you're like, I did my push-ups, makes you feel good. It also wakes you up, like that's another thing. And basically my point with that is in the morning, like it is so crucial that the stuff you do is in alignment with the person you want to be and that you don't go and do something that is like completely out of alignment and stuff. Like one thing, for example, that I used to do is mainly when I was at home living with the parents and also when like it was the weekend, which the weekend I'd give myself a little more leeway, but still it would make me feel kind of like shit, which like I don't want to feel like that. Like I want to feel good even if it's on the weekend, which I found even on the weekends when I'm doing my routine and everything, that's what makes me feel best. But that's a side point. Anyway, what I would do is I would wake up, I would disregard all of my routines because it's the weekend. I'd go upstairs and I would pretty much immediately just sit on the couch, turn on the TV and start watching a TV show. Well, that's how I'm starting my day. So imagine how the rest of the day is gonna play out when the first thing I did in the morning was something super lazy and that is like not in alignment at all with the person that I wanna become and what I wanna do. So that's just an example. And then, I mean, another example, which you could probably relate with more, or a lot of people could relate with, is jumping on their phone immediately and going on like social media or something like that. Like other than playing my music, I don't go on social media. I don't do anything on my phone. I don't check text messages. I don't do anything for at least probably the first hour of the day. Like the only thing I do on my phone for that first hour is just playing that music and putting my earbuds in. Other than that, I set my phone to the side and I don't do anything. So yeah, which that's a totally different like point and stuff of not letting the external world infiltrate your mind and everything in that first hour and stuff. Because that first hour is for you and like you waking up and you kind of priming yourself for the day and everything. Now, anyway, aside from that, basically the push-ups. So I'll do that. I usually do like 20 to 25. Honestly, I would recommend doing as many as you can because then when you get to the point where you can't do anymore, you've woken up quite a bit and you're feeling pretty fatigued and your muscles are sore, but you feel good, you know? So that's the next thing. Now, the last thing I'll do, which I don't do this every day, but I'll do it when it's like a day that I'm particularly feeling a little edgy or heavy, as I like to say, which is I will grab my journal and I will journal, which I'm gonna give you some specific prompts that I actually use because I know everybody says like journal, but how the fuck do you actually do that? Well, I've actually figured out some ways that works really well for me. And basically what I'll do is I'll literally just sit and either I'll do it pen and paper or I use my journal app on my phone. It's just like the default Apple journal app, which is actually really good. Like it's a really good app. But you can literally see like this was just the other day that I journaled. But for me, some of the things that I'll do, which sometimes I actually do this part pretty often, is I'll just write the date and then I'll write how do I want to feel today. And this goes into like some deep stuff of why I do this in terms of like human design and astrology and all of this like spiritual type shit. But it just helps me kind of set myself up for the day. So I'll just write how do I want to feel today, which some of the things is, which this leads into the next question, by the way. Some of the things I wrote is like inspired, creative, proud, strong, powerful, accomplished, which when I say accomplished, I also write like moved the needle. Like I want to feel accomplished, like I actually did something that moved the needle for whatever it is I'm doing, my fitness, my business, like whatever it is. Focused, confident in what I'm doing and working on, So those are some of the things I wrote down of how I want to feel. And then the next question is, what would feel good to do, create, or explore today? What excites me right now that I want to do or work on? And once again, like there's some deeper reasons why I actually do this in terms of like astrology and my human design and everything, which I won't dig into right now. That's a separate video. You can comment below if you do want me to make a video on that. But anyway, this is really helpful in terms of it kind of takes you out of that like negative frame that you wake up in the morning, and it immediately puts you into the frame of like, this is what I'm excited to do today. Like, this is what I'm looking forward to doing, or this is just what would feel good to do. Like in the moment, this is what would feel good to do, which some of the things I write down is like specific stuff for like my work or business and everything that I'm like looking forward to working on. Like maybe it's, I'm really feeling like making this YouTube video today, or I'm really feeling like making a video on this today. Like today, honestly, it was making a video on waking up like feeling like shit, because I woke up once again feeling like shit, and then I started going through my routine and I was like, I need to make a video talking about this stuff because it actually helps me. So I'll just write down stuff like that, you know, that I'm excited to work on. But I'll even write down stuff like hit a killer calisthenics workout. You know, like I'm looking forward to hitting my really good calisthenics workout. And these things, the reason I asked that first question above is the first question above gives me an idea of how I want to feel today. And then these things in the second question are in alignment with those feelings. Because for example, hitting a killer calisthenics workout, that's in alignment with me wanting to feel strong and powerful today. Like I want to feel like a strong and powerful dude today. So something I can do in order to feel that way is hit a killer calisthenics workout. And then in terms of inspired, creative, one of the things I wrote here is write about a topic that inspires me. And then basically I'll record and publish a YouTube video on it, and those will turn into Instagram posts. But literally when I asked what would feel good to do, what excites me right now that I want to do or work on, and one of the things is I want to write, because I like writing, I want to write about a topic that inspires me. That's once again in alignment with feeling inspired and creative. So those are the two questions, like literally that's it. That's all I do. I've got a couple prompts I'll give you that might help you more than those. But those are what I do almost on a daily basis, because it just sets me up for the day. And it's kind of my form of planning for the day. Like, okay, these are the things that I'm gonna get done today, you know, aside from like the mandatory client work and stuff like that. Now, my favorite journal prompts that I've at least come up with or came across that help me in terms of kind of getting over those negative thoughts and feelings, if it's a day that you're like feeling extra heavy, is it's literally just like two questions. One is, what's weighing on me right now? Like sometimes it's just super helpful to get it out there on paper, write it down, whatever, and get it out of your freaking head. So just literally write what's weighing on me right now, and then just write everything out. Just think like, what is it that's actually bothering me? And what's funny is by doing this, a lot of times you'll realize like, these aren't actually that big of deals. Like, I don't know why this is bothering me in the first place. So write that stuff down. And then the follow-up question to that is, which of these fears or like feelings or whatever's weighing on you, which of these are facts and which are just stories? So which of these things are facts, like this is actually something that I need to worry about, that is like something I need to fix, and there's a freaking logical ass reason why I'm feeling this way. And then obviously that's something that now you're fully aware of and you're like, okay, I need to take action to fix whatever this is. Or which are just stories. And when I say stories, I'm referring to, I said earlier in the video, how I'll wake up with worries about things that could go wrong with whatever it is I'm doing, you know, my business or whatever. And those are just stories in my head that I'm telling myself. Like those are just the what ifs. Like, what if this goes wrong? What if this happens? What if this client leaves? What if this, what if that? But those are just stories. And the stories are the ones that you can basically just disregard, in my opinion. Because if there's something that's a fact that's like, this is a legitimate problem that I need to fix, then boom, you've got it on paper, you've acknowledged it, and now you know like, okay, I need to fix this. But anything that are stories are simply just junk in your head of your overthinking brain and your overthinking mind just literally trying to bother you. And so yeah, to keep it simple, literally, once you nail that down and you're like, okay, these are just stories I'm telling myself, then you can basically just, you've got them down on paper, they're out of your head, and you can just crumple up the paper and disregard it. So those are the two journal prompts that have helped me quite a bit. So feel free to use those. But yeah, those are the main things. And then the last thing that I'll tell you, which is like super small, which I just thought of, is, and funny enough, I actually did get this from the Formula One movie, which by the way, if you haven't seen it, is kick ass. It is so good. But as soon as I saw that, literally the next day, I started taking like a big bowl and I'd fill it with water and ice, and then I'd dunk my face in it and basically hold my face in there as long as I could hold my breath, like sometimes like 30 seconds. And I kid you not, it feels so good. Like it seriously feels so good, especially when you take your face out and then you dry your face and everything. Like it wakes you up, you feel more awake all of a sudden. It kind of jolts your body and everything. So I personally really like doing that. Like I think it actually feels really good and it wakes you up. So feel free to try that as well. So basically the 3 things plus the bonus, because you know, I like to give extra here. The first is basically create an actual like feel good playlist, like a happy playlist. I just named mine Good Morning. And basically just throw your earbuds in first thing in the morning and play that. The second thing is do some freaking push-ups and do as many as you possibly can so that you actually feel a little fatigued, maybe even get a little sweat going, I don't know. And that'll also just help wake you up. And then lastly, on the days that you're feeling like extra heavy, just try out those journal prompts. They've helped me a lot. And it really helps you just get things down on paper. And then lastly, if you want to, you can dunk your face in ice water. So that's also helpful. But anyway, hopefully this video was helpful. If it was and you want more stuff like this, then feel free to subscribe. Also, my newsletter, my free newsletter is linked in the description below. So feel free to check that out and join if you want kind of deeper insights, because I go super, super deep in my newsletter. And if you prefer to read over watching videos, then sometimes I prefer that as well. Feel free to check it out. But anyway, with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.